I want to record a video showing how to change the size of the parts you've already made if you change your mind partway through or if something's not fitting the way you thought. So let's say, for example, I've made this Sumobot and I realize I don't want it to be this tall. Maybe I want it to go just above this wheel here. Okay? So this is in the assembly where I've put it all together. If I'm going to modify a part that I've made, I need to go back to the Part Studio where it was made. So I'm going to click Part Studio 1. Now, what I need to do is find the sketch that I used to make this piece. I can sort of hover over these and highlight to see. It looks like it might be sketch 1 that I actually made that piece. If you're ever unsure, you can kind of scroll through these and find where different things happened. Or you can go all the way to the bottom and grab this slider rollback bar, and you can roll it back all the way up. And then you can kind of walk through the steps you use step by step to see at what point that was made. So there's sketch 1. Oh, yep, it shows sketch 1. And then after sketch 1, I made that side plate. If you're going to do that, that's fine, but make sure that when you're done, you take the rollback bar and you take it all the way back to the end. Otherwise, it'll mess everything up because not all your steps will be done. All right, so let's go back here to sketch 1, and let me double click it. I'm reopening the same sketch. I'm going to view it straight down, and let me go ahead and find that height. Ooh, I'm trying to adjust this height, but there's not a measurement for it. But when I look up here, it looks like it's actually constrained or attached to the top here. So actually, this height of this wall, this side wall, isn't determined by this sketch. It's determined by whatever made the height of this back wall. So let's click the green check mark. Sometimes you got to do a little bit of sleuthing to remember what you did. So that was sketch 1. Let's go back to Sumobot backplate sketch, the one right before it. And here we go. I can see that I actually set that height here to be 8 centimeters. Let's lower it. Let's make it 7 centimeters. It'll lower that back plate down, and that will affect everything else that is the same way. All right. Now, sometimes when you modify a measurement, it'll mess with some other things. So for example here, it did make it shorter. Let me undo and show you what that did. So it went from there. See how high it is? Let me go forward. Down to there. That looks good, except for now I can see that this hole right here in the back isn't where I would want it. That's a really bad spot for that screw hole. It needs to be lower. So now let's go ahead and find that sketch for the screw hole. Right here, sketch 7. See how I hovered over it and it has that dot highlighted? I'm going to click that. So I have that set to be 5 centimeters above the bottom one. Let's make it 4 centimeters above the bottom one. Just like that. Click the green check. And now everything looks updated. Sometimes you need to go through and back into your assembly to make sure it didn't mess anything up. I think I'm going to probably be lucky here because I don't think I changed too much. But you might need to make sure that it's assembled properly. When you change the dimensions, sometimes that can mess with the mate connectors and all that. But here we go. Now my Sumobot is shorter. It can be a little bit tricky to figure out where the measurements were that made your sketch the way it was. But you kind of got to play a little bit of detective work. That rollback bar can be very helpful. But you can go through and you can change any of the dimensions and then just sort of update your CAD based on that. I like this new design. I like it a little shorter. It feels sleeker. Anyways, good luck making any changes.